It's Press Pass with Jack Ebling, Mid-Michigan's spirited sports debate. Now let's get talking sports. Here's Jack.
Great evening, Mid-Michigan and beyond, and welcome to Press Pass here on Fox 47. It is time to meet Team 266. Darian Harris, 5-year MSU linebacker, co-captain of the 2015 Big Ten champions, graduate student, future athletic director, aspiring broadcaster, does great work with BTN. Friday afternoons, BTN Live. Tell me you knew exactly what we saw Saturday at Spartan Stadium.
I wish I could say I knew exactly what was going to happen. I mean, I never am going to pick Michigan State to lose unless it's an outright, chance they have no shot. But I didn't see a game like that happen, especially with what Purdue was able to do last week against Ohio State. Right. Michigan State's down Brian Lewerke, not to mention the rest of the crazy injuries Michigan State has had to overtake this year. But great effort by Michigan State. Huge win for the program. Coach D obviously smiling after the game. He was elated with that win. Hats off to Rocky Lombardi, what he was able to do. It's a big-time win for the program.
Yeah, now Gonna Fly Now is the second fight song. And they're playing that all over the place. Everybody's Rocky. Also want to welcome Al Martin, and he is the host of Current Sports on WKAR, News Talk 870, and another Row 1 media member at Spartan Stadium who was baffled by what we saw yesterday.
Yeah, Jack, we don't know anything. As you mentioned before we started this taping, the interns actually chose, I think in the fourth quarter, Michigan State, and we're sitting there, Jack and I, saying, no, I think Purdue is still going to pull this out. Yeah. We know nothing. Completely stunned, and I can't wait to break it down. What
would have happened if Mike Panasiuk hadn't gotten that field goal?
Right.
16-16.
Yeah.
And does Jalen Naylor get that run? Do they go into overtime?
Right.
Lots of crazy things can happen. Also want to welcome Doug Warren. He is Director of Sports Programming for the Spotlight Radio Network. He is producer of The Drive with Jack and Tom from 3 to 6 p.m. and host of Lions Today from 2 to 3, doing double duty, just back from Ford Field. And you saw the Lions we thought we'd gotten rid of.
Yeah, well, the Lions are what the record says they are, and right now they're a 3-4 football team. A lot of us picked them to be 7-9 at the start of the year, and that's basically what they look like right now. Not a good football team. Got holes.
You mentioned they didn't run the ball enough, right?
No, they haven't run it 13 times. You're not going to win in the NFL unless you have that balance. And 13 carries, even when they're behind 21-7, you still had a whole half of football left. So I don't understand why they didn't try to commit to the run more, especially with the success they've had the last couple weeks.
Worst record of any team in the NFC North, but they have the best record within the division. They should just strictly play divisional games.
That's right. Well, they're going to have a chance. They got Minnesota and Chicago in the next 2 weeks on the road.
When we get back, we're going to start with Michigan State and the 23-13 win over the stunned Purdue Boilermakers yesterday at Spartan Stadium. We'll be right back with our Going Green segment brought to you by Graf Chevrolet.
Here's your Buick, sir.
Actually, that's my Buick.
Your Buick doesn't have a roof rack. This is my Buick.
How are we gonna fit in your mom's Buick?
Easy.
I like that new Buick.
Me too.
I was actually talking about that Buick.
I knew that.
Did you?
Buick's fresh new lineup is full of surprises. GM employee program participants with a current eligible GM lease get a low mileage lease on select 2018 Buick Enclave Essence models in stock for $259 per month.
Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever seen a lawn that mows itself? Yeah, me neither.
But the Husqvarna Automower will mow the lawn for you, rain or shine. The Husqvarna Automower charges automatically. It's silent, safe, there's virtually no maintenance, and your lawn will look like carpet. Here at Midwest Power Equipment, we are your one-stop shop for installation, service, and information. You might be thinking the Husqvarna Automower sounds too good to be true. It's not. So come into Midwest Power Equipment today.
You should go to A&J Transmission and Auto Repair. They fix everything.
Have you noticed a decline in a loved one and are worried about losing the house? I help protect assets from long-term care expenses. Call Crenshaw Peterson today for a free consultation. We protect you, your family, and your wallet.
Big Bang Cartier prototype. Weeknights at 6 and 7 on Fox 47.
Team spirit. Face paint. more cowbell. Dean Trailway's motor coach takes care of your travel, so you can support your favorite Spartan teams and focus on the important things. Dean Trailways, your favorite ride.
What's really important to me is being able to have a partner, and Dart Bank has been that for me. I'm Eric Nelson. I'm a managing partner here at the English Inn. I've worked with John Morris at Dart Bank to help put together multiple projects that have assisted us with growing our business and continuing to be successful.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. Time for our Going Green segment, brought to you by Graf Chevrolet, a trusted friend with 104 years in the automobile business. Stop and see Matt, Mark, and Greg on West Grand River in Okemos. They'll take great care of you as they have on all 6 of my leases and purchases. Go green, go Graf.
Came out with the idea that we were going to attack and offense, defense, and special teams, and have momentum and keep momentum, and that's exactly what ended up happening. Purdue's got a good football team, very explosive football team, so I thought on the first end of the spectrum is that we controlled more, number 4, sort of kept Blau in check, didn't allow many big plays, shut the passing lanes down deep. So they had the 1 touchdown drive, so we played very well on the defensive side of the ball, came up with 3 turnovers, big ones at the end, 2 really big ones in the 4th quarter. And I'm not sure whether we blocked the kick or not, but something happened on the kick, and so we defeated that play as well.
That is Michigan State head coach Mark D'Antonio. After one of the best single-game head coaching jobs, staff jobs, that I've seen in 50 years of watching this program. I was stunned by some of those things. Al Martin, last week on this set, we were all talking about the Purdue Boilermakers, the national team of the week after the 29-point trouncing of Ohio State. How did the Spartans handcuff the high-octane Boilers and make all the plays that winners do?
Well, I got to tell you, Jack, I got to first start with the Michigan State defense. That defense was fantastic on Saturday. I mean, that's a defense that held a Purdue offense that for 3 straight games coming into this game had 40-plus points. And, you look at the 3 picks they had. They limited the Purdue rushing attack to just 62 yards on the ground. Justin Lane with 4 pass deflections. Andrew Dow with 3 pass deflections. Yeah. Trey Person, who had given up 2 touchdowns against Michigan the week prior to, he makes a pass deflection and has 8 tackles tied for the team lead. So that defense, and that's something I've said all year, Jack, this Michigan State defense, when that offense hasn't been clicking, that defense has at least given Michigan State a shot in these games. And that's exactly what they did against, Purdue on Saturday. Not to mention Rocky Lombardi was solid. Solid outing for his first career start. He was great.
Darian, it's amazing. You know the stats of what Michigan State is when it wins the takeaway category. And once again, you see those 3 interceptions. Fantastic. And the blocked field goal is almost like a takeaway. Doug, we were hearing all week that Purdue coach Jeff Brom would have his choice of jobs in college and in pro, and Mark D'Antonio was too stubborn or too loyal. It didn't look like that. It looked like Michigan State was getting the best of that as well. And I wonder how many people will have the courage to admit that maybe Dave Warner isn't always the worst offensive coordinator in America.
No, they had a great game plan yesterday, and without question, and for them to pile up the yards that they did and put Rocky Lombardi in his first start to make the plays that he made and make him that comfortable in the pocket, roll him out at times, allow him to use his athletic ability. He certainly showed yesterday he's not afraid to run the ball. Yeah. And when this offense has a quarterback who runs the football and they use that option, then it makes the offense even more formidable, and they did that yesterday.
When's the last time you remember a Big Ten quarterback who was a wrestler?
I don't think I've heard of one ever, but I do know wrestlers in Michigan State tend to fare well in terms of history. Jack Allen, Brian Allen, Kyler Ellsworth, Denikos Allen. So,
Dougie kind of plays quarterback the way Joe Kapp used to for the Minnesota Vikings, right?
Absolutely. And the other thing, too, with Michigan State yesterday, where they run the ball 36 times, they were committed to the run. They knew they had to have that ball and control the clock and run the football. They stayed patient with it, and it paid dividends for their quarterback.
Darian, you've been in tough situations and come out the other side. When David Dowell says after the game that they weren't just playing for the program, playing for themselves, they were playing for Felton Davis. How much is that worth?
I think it's worth a lot, especially in the game right after the next game. I think it's worth a ton. But I don't think it can sustain you the whole season. You know, that next game after one of your star players goes down, obviously you're going to play with a lot of emotion. But you think last week Purdue playing for Tyler Trent, what a phenomenal story that is. They pull out a win over Ohio State. Well, they're playing for Tyler Trent every week, but it doesn't mean they're going to win every week like they weren't able to pull out a win against Michigan State. So I think what David was very important. You see Darryl Stewart score a touchdown, gives the ode to Felton on the celebration. But can they now sustain that for the rest of the year? Can they use that passion? Can they use that motivation to carry them into games like at Maryland and against Ohio State and things of that nature?
I was talking to Mike Panasiuk after the game, and I said, you know, you've been talking about making these line calls in Polish. Is that what you did before the blocked field goal? And I don't think he knows how to say blocked field goal in Polish. So he said, no, he said, we're just going to get low and we're just going to scooch down and take this guy for a ride. And that's exactly what they did when they just moved the entire line of scrimmage back into the kicker.
Yeah, that was impressive. That was the play that really, I think, put momentum all the way in favor of Michigan State.
Yeah. And a lot of guys, again, are involved in it. You see Matt Morrissey come in, get an interception. It's amazing, Matt Dodson making catches. You know? It's not one guy, two guys. People say, well, now it's the Rocky Lombardi show. Sometimes it's been Rocky and Bullwinkle at Michigan State, but this year it was not that yesterday, let me tell you, at Spartan Stadium. We'll be right back with the big picture. Big Ten football up next.
Why is October a great time to buy your next vehicle at Graf? 1, 0% financing this month at Graf Chevrolet. 2, got a trade-in? This month, Graf Okemos will double the value of your trade up to $4,000.
Drive away a 2019 Silverado LT 4x4 double cab, just $179 per month.
With a great selection of new vehicles, 0% financing, and a great trade-in offer, October is definitely the right time to get your new vehicle. Only at Graf in Okemos.
The Knapp Center is a historical hub for future business growth in beautiful downtown Lansing.
The Ide Company did the best they could to preserve the integrity of the history of this building while incorporating a modern open workspace. They have been prompt, they have been efficient, and they really are a friendly, great group of people that we don't have any concerns about calling them for any of our needs.
Opportunities for retail, office, restaurant, and residential. Build the future as a member of the Ide Company family.
It's another fall Friday night, and your kids should be
playing high school football.
It's a fun game, and it's safer than ever.
It's safe because the rules, the coaching, and the equipment are better than ever before.
As a result, serious injuries are at an all-time low. Seriously.
And builds
strong schools, lifetime memories, and tomorrow's community leaders. And it's mother approved.
It's a great game, and we want to teach it to your kids.
I need an airway.
The Resident, all new, Mondays at 8, 7 Central on Fox.
Catch the savings at Capital Honda with the biggest lineup of new Hondas from Capital Honda.
At Young Brothers in Daly, our showroom is designed to inspire you to create a fabulous living space both inside and out. Fireplaces, stone, brick, and furniture, most of which is made in the USA. Visit us at Young Brothers in Daly and see the many wonderful displays and design ideas in our showroom.
To a lot of us around here, hunting is a passion. It brings our families, friends, and neighbors together. Because we live right here in your community, Plains Farm and Fleet knows what you need. That's why we offer everything for a successful hunt, from our one-of-a-kind selection of clothing and footwear to an unbeatable selection of ammunition and hunting accessories. So when it's time to gear up for the hunt, trust your neighbors who hunt where you do. That's genuine value from Blaine's Farm and Fleet. The original, authentic, still family-owned since 1955.
Bay Area bragging rights are at stake when the Raiders take on the 49ers. Thursday Night Football on Fox, NFL Network, and streaming on Prime Video.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. It's time for The Big Picture, brought to you by Dean Trailways. With trips for every season, Dean takes care of the details so you can enjoy the experience, including daily casino runs and great getaways to northern Michigan and Chicago, where Doug Warren and I were in August for the NFL Legends Classic. That's Dean Trailways, your favorite ride.
It's a good football team, very good football team we just beat, and the credit goes to our guys. I thought we had a great week of preparation. I thought our offense especially came back from a really poor performance at Rutgers came with the right mindset Monday morning and went to work on Tuesday, and I think it showed.
Tremendous heart, but we just didn't play smart. So let's get those things cleaned up. Let's make them earn it. Let's not beat ourselves. And then to see some guys kind of step up, like Nick Scott, make a huge play for us was huge. We were able to really limit their running game and make them one-dimensional. We were able to get some sacks against an offensive line, an offense that's given up very few sacks. So just overall, just an unbelievable great win.
Two victorious head coaches, Northwestern's Pat Fitzgerald, Penn State's James Franklin. Darian, what's happened to the Wisconsin Badgers? We were talking about Buckeyes and Badgers in Indianapolis. They're going to need the ticket machine to get into Lucas Oil Stadium.
Yeah, I thought that's the collision course that we were on. But as I've watched this year and watched the Big Ten and what the football has become in the conference, I think it's just a fact of the matter that this new school age of football is catching up to Wisconsin, to where you can't have the 5 NFL offensive linemen, which they do, and an NFL running back, and expect to run the ball 40, 50 times a game and win in this day and age of football. You got to have the quarterback, you got to have the receivers, and you got to have an offense that's honestly pass happy. I mean, you look at the rest of the league, you look at Northwestern, Clayton Thorson throws it 70 times a game. Yeah. Purdue, David Blau throws it 70 times a game. We know what Haskins does at Ohio State. Even with Michigan State, didn't have a running game really for the better part of this year. Michigan gets a quarterback finally. So that's what you have to have in this league is a passing game, and Wisconsin's missing that right now.
Yeah, and a lot of people were down on Alex Hornibrook, but he's not there, and now Wisconsin is a very limited team offensively. Doug, how has a 1-3 Northwestern team put it together, 4 straight wins, and now has a game-and-a-half lead over its 3 closest pursuers in the Big Ten West?
Well, I think a couple of things. I mean, they have the personality of their head coach where they don't really get rattled. They just keep battling. And Clayton Thorson's just a gamer. Yesterday he throws 3 interceptions, but he runs for 2 touchdowns. When he's healthy as he is now, that's a different football team with him because I think he's definitely an NFL prospect and the team believes in him.
If you take a look at the Big Ten standings, you see that you got Northwestern at 5-1, and then you've got Iowa, Wisconsin, Purdue, all 3-2, and Northwestern's already beaten Wisconsin and Purdue, so they're going to have to really collapse, Al, to not win the West.
They certainly are, and like Doug said, I think looking at Northwestern right now and the way Clayton Thorson is playing, like, he has a short memory. He's going to go out there and game, and I think they're the favorites right now to come out the West. Who thought we would have said that though at the beginning of the year, right?
Let's take a look at this week's AP Top 25. Which team helped itself the most Saturday, and which team dug the biggest hole?
Well, I'll tell you what, Jack. I mean, you had 8 AP-ranked teams lose on Saturday. Not too much change at the top. I mean, Bama, LSU, Michigan didn't have a game. They were all on byes. And you look at Clemson and Notre Dame, they won in blowouts. Yep. If anything, I mean, if you look at, near the end of that list, I mean, Texas was, at number 15. Yeah. They lose to OK State, and then they fall 6 spots there. Also, number 10, Washington State moved up 4 spots after beating Stanford. That was pretty surprising as well. So, again, but not too much movement when it comes to the top, just because so many teams were on bye weeks, Jack.
The thing that caught my attention was number 18, Utah State. Yeah. And after that 38-31 loss to the Spartans when they led 31-30 with less than 3 minutes to go, they've scored 364 points, Darian, in the last 7 games. That's 52 points a game.
Well, I was at that first game, and what I saw was a very, very good football team in Utah State. So when everybody was clamoring about Michigan State not blowing them out, I knew what I was looking at for sure.
We will be back in just a couple of minutes, and we'll have our Law of the Jungle segment brought to you by Woody's Oasis on Trowbridge Road. We're going to talk all about the Detroit Lions and snacks for everyone here. Would have been nice to have that in the victory, but we'll be right back with that segment and much, much more here on Press Pass.
Don't buy a fake metal roof. For a beautiful, permanent, guaranteed, real metal roof, call American Metal Roofs today at 844-METAL ROOFs. Or learn more at our website, online at
AmericanMetalRoofs.com. If you're not well, but it's not an emergency, choose Sparrow Fast Care for things like infections, the flu, allergies, even the common cold.
But if you need x-rays, stitches, or to mend some broken bones, then choose Sparrow Urgent Care.
From Lansing, DeWitt to Okemos
to East Lansing, Mason, and Grand Ledge, and now open on Michigan Avenue in Lansing.
Walk in or check in online at sparrowcares.org. Sparrow Fast Care
and Sparrow Urgent Care.
Healthcare at the speed of life.
With the David Chapman Agency, auto owners insurance policies come with something extra. Local agents who care about you. Our agents will help you find the right coverage at the best price. 3 generations serving you at the David Chapman Agency, your local auto owners insurance agents.
911, all new, Monday on Fox.
Team spirit. Face paint. More cowbell. Dean Trailway's Motor Coach takes care of your travel, so you can support your favorite Spartan teams and focus on the important things. Dean Trailways, your favorite ride.
The Ticket Machine is your local connection to concert, theater, and sporting event tickets nationwide. Our entertainment experts are ready to help you create a memorable experience, trusted by fans for more than 20 years. Whether you're looking for tickets for your corporate outing, family excursion, or vacation, we offer the best seats and the best prices. Grab a front row seat now on theticketmachine.com.
At Tropical Smoothie Cafe, we have a taste for adventure because the only way to know how good something can be is to go for it. Try our veggie smoothies, Island Green, made with spinach, kale, pineapple, banana, and mango. And Caribbean Sea Burst with carrots, mango, banana, orange, and goji. Adventure begins with never knowing until you try, but always expecting something great. Go for a veggie smoothie at Tropical Smoothie Cafe. Eat better, feel better.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. Time for our Law of the Jungle segment, brought to you by Woody's Oasis on Trowbridge Road, your healthy alternative to fast food. Eat Woody's and live longer. I'm talking about chicken shawarma with baked breast meat and hummus made fresh in a 3-day process. That's why I'm there every week. The Woody's items are now available at Tom's Foods and other local grocers.
It doesn't matter who's making the plays. It doesn't matter, what's going on. At the end of the day, all that matters is each other. And all that matters is us winning and finding a way to win and doing whatever it takes to win. So that's really showed up in the past several weeks.
That is Darian Harris. No, it's not Darian Harris. It just looks like Darian Harris, right? That is Seattle quarterback and former Wisconsin Badger, Russell Wilson. Doug Warren, why do the Lions win when we think they're going to lose and lose when we think they're going to win?
Good question.
They're still pretenders. They played a contender today. The Seahawks have been contenders for a long time. You saw their quarterback right there speaking. This team still has plenty of guys from those Super Bowl runs, and they're a lot better team than that 3-3 record indicated today. They started out 0-2 like the Lions, but they've had some big wins, and they only lost to the Rams by a couple points a couple weeks ago. So that's a team that's playing pretty well. And the Lions today, they just make too many mistakes. Yeah. You can't turn the ball over 3 times and expect to win, especially at home against this team.
Stafford had it going early. Marvin Jones, Russell Wilson, and he hit the first 10 passes.
Yeah.
First time in his career he did that. And it was 7-0, and suddenly it was 28-7. So. Yeah, 4 straight touchdowns.
The Lions, they showed some things today. I think, as I said earlier, the Damon Harrison trade was good. When he was on the field, it was very difficult to run the ball against them, especially between the tackles. We haven't been able to say that about the Lions all year. Kerryon Johnson needs to get the ball more. They got him the ball in the passing game, but Lions only ran the ball 13 times. You cannot win in the NFL doing that. The Lions have too good of an offensive line to only run the ball 13 times and expect to win. It's just not going to happen.
Darian, when you think about Matthew Stafford and Russell Wilson, Matthew Stafford was a higher-ranked recruit coming out of high school. He was a #1 overall draft pick. Russell Wilson was not. What did we miss about Russell Wilson?
I'm not sure if we missed much. Maybe, the things that he couldn't control, his height is what maybe held him back, quote unquote. But I think we saw it firsthand when Michigan State played Wisconsin twice that year, and in the Big Ten championship game, that was some of the most impressive things I've seen.
But he wasn't a first-round pick.
But he wasn't a first-round pick. He ends up as a third-round pick, but still wins a Super Bowl. He had a defense with him. But I don't think that's a knock on Matthew Stafford either. Doug, I'm sure, knows this. And it was brought up when Drew Brees broke the record for passing yards. are we going to get this fanfare when Matthew Stafford breaks that record? Because he's going to break the record. I mean, the pace he's on right now, I don't think it's any question that he's going to break the record and hold that as having most passing yards of all time. So can't say he's not had a great career, just hasn't necessarily had the team behind him to put him over the top.
Al, what impresses you about Russell Wilson?
I love his versatility. I mean, when he gets out of the pocket and runs the football, I mean, he is really special. But, you know, looking at this game, though, and you look at the gauntlet of a schedule the Lions have to play, though, Jack, in November, this was an ideal opportunity for the Lions to steal one because Russell Wilson came into this game with one of the lowest QBRs of his career. So if anything, I'm sitting there saying, okay, this is a perfect opportunity to ride some momentum before you begin that crazy schedule right there at Minnesota. But, you know, Russell, he's special. Once he gets out of the pocket and runs, oh, my goodness, he's tough to get down, Jack.
Doug, is Seattle a playoff team?
Yeah, they are. There's no doubt. You know, they and the Rams will most likely be in the playoffs. The way the Seahawks are playing right now, I'd say they are. I mean, they're better than Washington. They're better than Minnesota right now. I think they're better than probably any team in the South except for New Orleans. It's a toss-up there. So, yeah, they're definitely a playoff team.
Al, I want to take a look at the NFC North standings. Can you rank those teams from first to fourth and give us your season victory projection for the Lions?
Well, to answer that, Jack, I'm going with 7-4. I think this is a 7-4 ball club right now.
7-9.
7-9. I'm sorry, 7-9.
They'd like to quit after 11 games.
Right, that's true. That's a good point. But that order right there, I'm sticking with that order. I think Vikings, Bears, Packers, Lions. I think that's how it's going to finish out for the year.
Is there anyone here who doesn't think the Lions are fourth in the NFC North when it's all said and done?
No. They still have too many holes. They don't have a consistent enough pass rush. And they don't. I still have questions about the play calling. Today was a prime example. And, you know, sometimes they're just such a schizophrenic team right now. I don't think they have enough guys in that locker room that are focused enough to win. Ricky Jean-Francois talked after the game in the locker room about how this team lacks focus. They're not zeroed in, and I think he was brought into this team as much as his play is on the field to be a leader. He's been one of the guys who's been outspoken and talking off the field about the things that this franchise is not getting done that they need to get done like the Patriots do.
Heading into the season, I think most people thought the Lions would finish ahead of the Chicago Bears. Maybe the acquisition of Khalil Mack changes all that. But the Lions are getting precariously close to the 5 losses that Tom Crawford projected they would finish with. 11-5, they would have to, go 7-1 the rest of the way?
That's
probably
not going to happen.
That's not happening.
We will be right back. Our Spartan Sparring segment up next here on Press Pass.
Why is October a great time to buy your next vehicle at Graf? 1, 0% financing this month at Graf Chevrolet. 2, got a trade-in? This month, Graf Okemos will double the value of your trade up to $4,000.
Drive away a 2019 Equinox LT front-wheel drive, just $141 a month.
With a great selection of new vehicles, 0% financing, and a great trade-in offer, October is definitely the right time to get your new vehicle. Only at Graf in Okemos.
What's really important to me is being able to have a partner, and Dart Bank has been that for me. I'm Eric Nelson. I'm a managing partner here at the English Inn. I've worked with John Morris at Dart Bank to help put together multiple projects that have assisted us with growing our business and continuing to be successful.
The student bookstores are Green and White Shop headquarters. Outfit your entire family with Spartan gear. We have a large selection of men's, women's, and children's clothing. Show off your Michigan State pride with new shoes, socks, hats, and more. Have your tailgate ready with MSU party supplies, car accessories, and dress your pet in green and white. We have gifts for students, grads, alumni, and fans. From Vera Bradley and Dooney and Burke to diploma frames and more. Always shop SBS for the biggest and best selection of green and white. Go green, go white, go SBS.
Hey, partner, looks like you got another ride to work.
Lethal Weapon, all new Tuesday on Fox.
Wintertime in Michigan means cars don't need any help sliding off the road. For any unusual pulls during driving, braking, or unusual vibrations, bring it into Don's Auto Alignment to tighten things up a bit. With the winter months right around the corner, we have 2 alignment machines to get you in and out quickly. Don's Auto Alignment has been doing alignment since 1983. Whether your car is new or old, Don's is happy to get your car ready for the months to come. Don's Auto Alignment. Our service is on our sign on Eaton Rapids Road in South Lansing.
Here's your Buick, sir.
Actually, that's my Buick.
Your Buick doesn't have a roof rack. This is my Buick.
How are we gonna fit in your mom's Buick?
Easy.
I like that new Buick.
Me too.
I was actually talking about that Buick.
I knew that.
Did you?
Buick's fresh new lineup is full of surprises.
GM Employee Program participants with a current eligible GM lease can get this low-mileage lease on this Encore for $129 a month. Visit Glenn Bugie Buick in Lansing today.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. Time for our Spartan Sparring segment, brought to you by Steakhouse Philly at Kalamazoo and Clippard. My after-work and game day stop for great Greek food and sports conversation. Charlie Summerly, my favorite Matt Patricia clone, and his terrific staff will make you glad you stopped and sad you ever had to leave.
What's up, guys? It's Cassius Winston. Excited for the season this year. Hope to see you guys there.
Yo, 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 this is Gabe Brown, ready for the 2018-2019 season. Deuces.
Hey guys, this is Connor George coming live from MSU Media Day. Can't wait to get started in the 2018-19 season. It's gonna be a fun year.
What's good, everybody? This is Marcus Bingham Jr. Super excited for the 2018-2019 season to kick off next Tuesday. I want to see everybody there go green.
I'll tell you what, Gabe Brown, next time I go on vacation, he's going to sit right here. He is ready.
He's ready for the camera, right?
He is ready. He wants to do, his life goal is to do a show with Al Martin.
Stop. Shoot higher, Gabe.
Al, the Spartans had a closed scrimmage this weekend with Gonzaga in Minnesota, and learned that they still have some work to do.
Mm-hmm.
What do we know about this team? What do we expect?
Well, first, when it comes to the scrimmage, I mean, we're basically like Stevie Wonder right now, just looking at stats. Because, again, we didn't see any footage of what happened in the game. We do know that Gonzaga did win both halves. Nick Ward, 22 points, Cassius with 16, Tillman with 16. But when it comes to this team right now, I mean, this is the highest-ranked Big Ten team in the preseason AP poll at number 10. You know, Michigan is in that poll as well. Then you have Purdue just making it in. But, you know, this is a team that it's going to be really interesting to see just how they deal with what happened last year. I think Michigan State has a lot of talent on this squad. I'm looking forward to seeing how his game evolves, the game of Nick Ward evolves. And the problems today, which what we saw on paper, at least, Jack, turnovers and guard play. That's what we got when it comes to the takeaways of this game. So it's really hard for me to kind of give a prediction because I didn't see anything, Jack. So
well, they have an easy opener, Darian. They play Kansas. So, you know, typical Tom Izzo. Doug Warren, one of the best stories on campus is being written in Munn Ice Arena. And Danton Cole, in year 2, took his team, unranked, unheralded, to number 8 Cornell, not only swept the Big Red there, 5-2 and 4-3. 5-2 on Friday night, 4-3 on Saturday night. But in both games, drove one of the best goalkeepers in college hockey out of the game. What's going on?
Well, they're scoring in flurries. I mean, last night they scored 3 goals in a 5:45 span of the second period. On Friday night, they had 4 goals in the third period. And last night in particular, the defense played very well, killed 4 Cornell power plays in the second period, and John Lethman had 36 saves, which is a season high. So they're doing it on both ends of the ice. Dan Cole talked about the forechecking being there and the back checking as well. So this team's been coached up, and now they're playing like it.
Darian Harris, the Big Ten, weighed in on Walkgate from last week.
Walkgate.
And there you see.
Stormtroopers, Jack.
Stormtroopers. You know, I've seen a lot worse altercations than that, you know, the day after Thanksgiving when everyone's waiting to get Christmas gifts. Now you see Devin Bush going to work, doing some of his best work on the logo. reprimands for Mark D'Antonio, Jim Harbaugh, Devin Bush, but a $10,000 fine for Michigan State. Should the Spartans be upset, outraged at that, or should they just be happy that the Big Ten didn't make Michigan State buy Devin Bush a new pair of Air Jordans?
Well, I think they definitely should be upset. Current President John Engler came out and said he was very upset with what transpired. The reprimands, didn't understand it at all. So I'm interested to see kind of where this goes from here. I'm not sure that they've written the check yet. I'm not sure that how the appeal process works because I've never seen this happen before. I honestly have, in terms of in my lifetime of paying attention to college sports, I've never seen a team get. I mean, this is like a profession. This is basically treating this like a professional situation. And all the talk out there is that this isn't professional sports. So if it's not, how are you fining schools and all these things like you fine a professional team for, you know, conduct detrimental to whatever, like we always see in any professional league. So I definitely think they should be upset. And I'm interested to see if they appeal or drag this out or carry it on. I mean, this is, to me, I sit back and laugh and just laugh at this. That's all you can do. I mean, honestly, just laugh at it. Try to, I guess, enjoy it because you don't have to write the check. And
I guess the Big Ten could just deduct that from the television revenues check that comes to Michigan State if they want to do it that way.
Right. But I guess what it was brought up, what can they really do if Michigan State doesn't pay?
The University of Michigan, I'm sure, is going to want a photo of that check, right? They're going to want to see that. So they can put that up in Schembechler Hall.
But why fine Michigan State here?
Right.
You know, why didn't Michigan get a fine? Devin Bush is the one that tore up the field, so I didn't understand why Michigan State. Well, because they showed up 2 minutes late to the walk? I don't know. I don't get that.
I heard that the visitors' locker room was trashed afterward, too. We'll be right back with more here on Press Pass.
You should go to A&J Transmission and Auto Repair. They fix everything.
%40 of seniors will end up in a nursing home. Get a plan for who will help manage your assets and health care so court doesn't do it for you. Call Crenshaw Peterson today. We protect you, your family, and your wallet.
Few others on Earth can rival the strength of an ant relative to its size. Until now, the new GMC Terrain has arrived. Terrain, the powerful compact SUV from GMC.
GM employees with a current GM lease can get this low-mileage lease on this 2019 GMC Terrain SLE for $169 per month. Visit Glenn Bugie, Crippen, Jim Winter, and Team 1.
Same team.
Better time.
Watch Fox 47 News at 6:30.
Hello, my name is Dr. John Braccio, psychologist. If you or your child have problems with focus, inattention, sitting still, memory, concentration, these are traits of ADHD. Visit us at drjohnb.com.
Anyone who's had our chicken knows it's plump and juicy. What they may not know is that it's also 100% natural.
All our chickens are certified, humanely raised, no antibiotics, on a high-quality diet of soy and grain.
Why are they called tenders?
They're called tenders because they come from the tenderloin of the breast, hand-trimmed just for colors. It's not a strip or a finger, it is the true tenderloin.
I'll put our chicken tenders up against anybody's.
That's like my Granny Franklin used to make. That's outstanding, Craig.
Welcome to Delicious.
I'm excited about 3 or 4 because Leo Getz shows back up.
Because Leo Getz has a police scanner in his apartment, and by apartment, I mean my car.
And he is doing a true crime podcast, and I got to watch him shoot the scene where he's interviewing someone who may be the bad guy, and I have never laughed so hard. He has to run and hide in the bathroom.
I got an irritable bowel like you would not wish on your enemy.
And listening to him ad-lib 20 different times about what's happening in the bathroom and why the guy should not come in.
Everything okay in there?
Hey, Jacob. I got some ceviche at a gas station.
I've been a fan of Tom for so long, like since the days with the State on MTV a million years ago.
Got some fierce squirts happening. It could be a while.
There's a lot of times where I just want to be on set just watching it and not be part of the scene because I just
masterclass.
And it's so funny. It's very exciting.
I'm just trying to find my pants.
There you see Blake Griffin hitting from the top of the key, and just a cool 50 this week. Actually had a game with Blake Griffin and Andre Drummond where they combined for 52 and 32. But this is a very different looking Detroit Pistons team. And seems like they're playing together. Seems like they're playing with a purpose. Seems like they're listening to their coach. And Dwayne Casey, who was the 2017-18 NBA Coach of the Year, is getting through to these guys. And they said first time that coach has ever asked them about something besides basketball. That's kind of an interesting approach. Darian Harris, you watch the Pistons as closely as anyone. Al does as well. But besides Dwayne Casey, what's the difference in this team that got off to such a fast start before they met Boston?
Yeah, I think they believe in what's going on there. They believe in the system. And I think that when your best player is buying in, that goes a long way. And Blake Griffin's buying in. He's buying into the Detroit mystique. He's buying into what comes with suiting up in the Pistons uniform. He's buying into what it means to play in the city of Detroit, what the city of Detroit means. You know, he's at Michigan games. He's on the sideline. He's got the Detroit Tigers cap on. So when he's buying in, I think it goes a long way. And then obviously what Dwayne Casey has been able to do is phenomenal. And I knew it would be from the start. He's a great coach. If a guy named LeBron James was in the league, he wouldn't have been fired from Toronto. I mean, LeBron got two coaches fired in the last year. It's Dwayne Casey and Tyronn Lue. If LeBron doesn't exist, Dwayne Casey's still coaching in Toronto, and I didn't agree with that firing either. But Detroit got a great one in Dwayne Casey, and it's showing out there.
David Blatt, too.
Yeah.
So three.
Three
coaches.
Yep.
Are we still having the debate about whether it was a good idea for the Pistons to get Blake Griffin? People in the offseason were saying, I got that contract now, and that's going to make it even harder for him to rebuild. Are we past that?
I think we are. And I was one of those people, Jack. I didn't like the Blake Griffin move at first because of the amount of money mixed with Blake not being able to stay healthy during an entire NBA year. But, I mean, this is a man who's leading the team in points and assists right now. And as you mentioned, Darren, he's buying in. But also, to piggyback on Dwayne Casey's coaching job, what I love about this team right now is that they are running the offense through Blake Griffin. I've seen Blake multiple times actually bring the ball up the court, playing that point/forward position. So that change in coaching philosophy is allowing others around Blake to get off.
Is it possible, if the Pistons surprise us and win more than 50 games, that Blake Griffin and Andre Drummond could both be All-Stars, and that Dwayne Casey could become the first coach in NBA history to be Coach of the Year back-to-back years?
It's possible. I really think it's possible. I mean, let's remember though last year they started 14-6. Yeah. Reggie Jackson gets hurt. And then so if they stay healthy, knock on wood, if they stay healthy, I think they got a shot at that.
That's different than Luke Kennard getting hurt, right?
Exactly. Oh, totally different. Totally different, Jack.
Doug, I know how much you love baseball. Not.
Yeah.
But do you wish that you'd stayed up to see all 18 innings of this historic Game 3, dashed home tonight to watch Game 5 while we're taping this show?
No, I have no interest in the 18-inning game, and I'm not going to watch tonight. I'm going to dash home and watch New Orleans and Minnesota, a Sunday Night Football.
Yeah, I'm with you, Doug.
The reason we are not at our normal time tonight, thank you very much, Ian Kinsler. If you had just stopped and thrown the ball to first base, we'd be on at 11 o'clock, and it would have been a sweep. Instead, we don't have that. But by now, you know the results of Game 5. You know what's happened in this World Series. Darian, when you think about the Red Sox and their chance to win 119 games, 108 in the regular season, could win 11 in the postseason, may have already done that tonight. Where do they rank among the teams you've seen?
It's got to be right up there in terms of the teams that I've seen. This Red Sox team was on a collision course for winning it all from the get-go. They're another team that's bought in. They have the AL MVP. Mookie Betts is phenomenal. What he did after the game, going to hand out food and things to the homeless. And the thing about that story that was great was he was upset that got out. He didn't even want people to know that he was doing that. So that's the type of players that are on this team, and it goes a long way, honestly. When you get great people in a locker room, then I was listening to the radio the other day. When you invest in players and draft well and have a great farm league, this is what happens, like with the Red Sox. Mookie Betts is right out of their farm system, and you get an MVP out of that.
Fantastic. You know, when you have an 18-inning game, you've gone through everybody. So, Red Sox, they look down the bench, and all you see is wood, right? And Nathan Eovaldi, if they'd gone 30 innings, he'd still be out there.
Yeah.
So he pitched as well as anyone possibly could in that situation, and then he gives up the home run in the 18th to Max Muncy. And that's a guy who I think Dave Roberts has maybe tried to get too cute, and Cody Bellinger as well. You know, guys who have been important players, 30-plus home run players, but they're trying to play the situations. They're trying to mix and match all this stuff, and sometimes I think that can come back to bite you as well. We'll be right back. Our Take It to the Bank segment brought to you by Dart Bank. All of our locks and guarantees up next.
Fox 47's Yes Grant recipient for October is the Davies Project.
The Davies Project mission is to provide community-based, non-medical support for local families facing serious long-term health challenges with a child. The Davies Project uses highly screened volunteer drivers to provide free rides to medical appointments for children with a serious health condition, prenatal appointments for pregnant women, and the neonatal intensive care unit for parents with hospitalized infants for daily bonding. Our goal is to ensure every child makes every medical appointment. Volunteer drivers provide more than just a ride. They provide hope, which is key to our families. Research studies show that parents of children with special health needs have higher levels of stress, anxiety, and depression. Volunteer drivers provide a listening ear for families who often feel isolated while dealing with a health crisis. That empathy plus the reliable transportation provides a huge support for an overwhelmed family just trying to make it through the day.
Bringing communities closer. We say yes to the Davies Project.
Last Man Standing is back and bigger than ever. All new Fridays on Fox.
Team spirit. Face paint. More cowbell. Dean Trailway's Motor Coach takes care of your travel, so you can support your favorite Spartan teams and focus on the important things. Dean Trailways, your favorite ride.
Working with the IDE company, 1, is very easy to do. 2, they're very responsive to our needs. And 3, as we've grown as a company, they've listened to those needs and they've helped us plan out our future in terms of growth that needs to be done at this location.
It's just comforting to know I'm working with the IDE company, knowing that they can accommodate our growth. In that way, they're an excellent partner.
Opportunities for retail, office, restaurant, and residential. Build the future as a member of the IDE company family.
Sports give so many opportunities to kids. It gives them an opportunity to see where they fit within a team, persevere, understanding how to work with different personalities. Those are the lessons that will make you a successful adult. As a mom, you have to have an understanding of what concussions are.
Concussions are things that are treatable. If we take care of athletes, they will be able to develop and have a long, happy, healthy life.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. Time for our Take It to the Bank segment, brought to you by Dart Bank, dedicated to meeting the needs of our banking community for more than 90 years with 4 convenient locations in Mason, Holton South Lansing, Grand Ledge, and the expanded Home Loan Center in Frandor. That's Dart Bank, for what matters most.
Lawrence into the end zone. Francois, floater up the seam. He was hit as he threw, and it's intercepted by Trey Lamar. The middle linebacker to the sideline. Stays in bounds. Bryce to the end zone for the touchdown.
On 2nd and goal, give it to Armstrong. This time he is in. So 3rd and 2. Here's Lewis. That's a toss. Malloy on the edge. He is driven back.
Comes to the cross, and Kevin does the rest.
Book is perfect in the game. And now, meanwhile, for Notre Dame, as Lewis drops on 1st and 10, he's going to take the end zone shot, and it is intercepted to seal it for the Irish. Jalen Elliott.
There you see Clemson Tigers and Notre Dame Fighting Irish looking very much like playoff teams Saturday. Al Martin, we are 2 nights away from the first college football playoff rankings.
Crazy, right? It's here already.
Yeah. What about the guarantees for this first of 6 sets of rankings we're going to see?
I will say, because it's so early, I'll say this. I think Alabama and Notre Dame will be a part of those 6 sets every single week.
Okay.
And, you know, and I think there's a real possibility, Jack, when you look at how things are stacking up right now, and you look at the Big Ten in particular, I mean, the Big Ten is just beating up on each other right now. If by some crazy stretch of the imagination, let's just say LSU next week may upset Alabama, and how about Kentucky too? Kentucky on the other side of the SEC, Kentucky or Georgia somehow beats Alabama.
Yeah.
The Big Ten gets left out. I think the Big Ten gets left out, Jack.
So you're counting on Notre Dame and Clemson being in, that taking 2 spots.
Exactly.
Barring the unforeseen. And then one-loss Alabama would be in over a one-loss Big Ten team.
Right. Exactly.
Doug Warren, we all know about Alabama, but what about a lock for the number 2 seed in this? You like Clemson? You like Notre Dame?
I think if Notre Dame wins out, they'll be the number 2 seed. You know, they have Northwestern this weekend in Evanston. Then they have a terrible Florida State team, a Syracuse team that can score points, but Notre Dame's defense, I think, could shut them down. And then you have a USC team out in the Coliseum, which is they're just bad right now too. So Notre Dame, if they win out, they got the Notre Dame mystique, all that stuff, and people are already starting to think about them as being a playoff team. I think they're more of a lock than Clemson because their schedule is a little tougher than Clemson's this year.
And I heard that Michigan and Ohio State rooting like crazy for Northwestern to win that game over Notre Dame so that it elevates the stock in the Big Ten. But then you think if Notre Dame loses, then that lessens Michigan's quality loss. So I guess you can look at that either way, Darian.
Yeah, you definitely can. It's a weird situation for the Big Ten. I agree with Al, though. I mean, you beat each other up in the conference. I mean, Ohio State could end up with a loss before they even make it to Indianapolis, if they even make it to Indianapolis. I mean, it's just, it's wild what's going on in the Big Ten. And for them to be left out 2 years in a row, it's not looking good.
What can we take to the bank about what this is going to look like when the football 4 is finally set?
Well, for me, it's Notre Dame getting in, and more specifically, now you have a team in that's not in a major conference because they're not in any conference. And I know we talked about it a little last week. I'm sticking to that, what I said last week. Now it opens up the door for a team like UCF, a team like Central Florida, to say, hey, what about us? And I know Rico sat there and Tom sat there and said, no way, doesn't matter, don't feel sorry for them. But at some point, you got to get a clamoring for a team like UCF that could go undefeated, that won their bowl game last year against Oregon. Just because they're not in a major conference doesn't mean they shouldn't be able to get in.
We'll be right back with our Cool and Smooth segment brought to you by Culver's. Up next.
Why is October a great time to buy your next vehicle at Graf? 1, 0% financing this month at Graf Chevrolet. 2, got a trade-in? This month, Graf Okemos will double the value of your trade up to $4,000.
Drive away a 2019 Silverado LT 4x4 double cab, just $179 per month.
With a great selection of new vehicles, 0% financing, and a great trade-in offer, October is definitely the right time to get your new vehicle. Only at Graf in Okemos.
Hello, my name is Dr. John Braccio, psychologist. If you or your child have problems with focus, inattention, sitting still, memory, concentration, these are traits of ADHD. Visit us at drjohnb.com.
The student bookstores are Green and White Shop headquarters. Outfit your entire family with Spartan gear. We have a large selection of men's, women's, and children's clothing. Show off your Michigan State pride with new shoes, socks, hats, and more. Have your tailgate ready with MSU party supplies, car accessories, and dress your pet in green and white. We have gifts for students, grads, alumni, and fans. From Vera Bradley and Dooney and Burke to diploma frames and more. Always shop SBS for the biggest and best selection of green and white. Go green, go white, go SBS.
Your paycheck had begun before you know it. We're here to help save your hard-earned wages. Discovering deals that are too good to be true. Shining a light on scams meant to rip you off. Watch Don't Waste Your Money with John Matarese. Monday on Fox 47 News at 10.
Friday's #1 new comedy, The Cool Kids. Fridays on Fox.
Catch the savings at Capital Honda. New 2018 Honda Accord LX, just $249 a month. Or new 2018 Honda Civic LX, only $169 a month. Just like your favorite team does it, we're going all out because you should be driving a Honda from Capital Honda.
Let MSU Federal Credit Union help create your dream home. Get a home equity line of credit with a 6-month promotional rate of 2.99%. Visit msufcu.org to learn more.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. Time for our Cool and Smooth segment, brought to you by the 5 Culver's locations in mid-Michigan. Since 1984, Culver's has been delighting guests one meal at a time with scrumptious butter burgers and premium frozen custard. That's Culver's. Welcome to delicious.
Criticism where? From where?
Outside. Noise.
From where?
Twitter, radio.
Yeah. Oh, I'd give a rat's ass about Twitter. It's a platform for people that are sitting home drawing an unemployment check, sitting in front of a keyboard. I'm not disregarding what you're saying. Trust me, I get it at my own house. But, I mean, I just kind of felt like that social media and Twitter is what's destroying this country anyway. So that's how I feel about it, from politics to sports to whatever. It gives people a platform to and then other people are like needling it and they're sitting at home and they're late on a payment. So anyway, that's how I feel.
That was Oklahoma State coach Mike Gundy. And Tom Izzo, that's for you. I know how much you love Twitter. All right, Team 266, who has been as cool and smooth as a Culver's mint explosion this week? Doug Warren, let's start with you in our play of the week.
Well, yesterday in the Michigan State and Purdue game, Purdue had a chance to tie it 16-16. Mike Panashuk got his big mitt up in the air and blocked a field goal with 3:42 remaining to give the Spartans the ball back, and they sealed it with a touchdown to get the big win.
It is a big mitt, too. Have you seen that thing? I'll tell you what. Right? Yeah. But shake hands. You might not get your hand back. Darian Harris, what about our game of the week?
Game of the week, and there were some great ones this week, and obviously that Oklahoma State-Texas game was great. Iowa, Penn State was great. Michigan State, Purdue was great. But I'm going with Green Bay versus Los Angeles Rams. Los Angeles Rams are able to come back and get the win. And
still undefeated.
Still undefeated, 8-0. And the reason I'm going with that game is because coming into this year, I tried. I said, I'm not going to watch a lot of NFL. I'm not happy with a lot of things going on with the NFL. But for me, it is so hard to not watch the best in the world, best in the universe, do what they do. You watch DeAndre Hopkins catch that didn't count, and you watch Todd Gurley play, you watch Aaron Rodgers play. I mean, it's just so hard to not turn that on and to at least enjoy that spectacle, regardless of what's going on the outside. So for that, I give it to that and this LA Rams team, which seems like I hope we get a Rams-Chiefs Super Bowl. I mean, I really hope we get that. That'd be exciting.
Oh, that'd be so fun.
Honorable mention, hey, we got to talk about the World Series games 3 and 3.5.
Yeah.
Because it was really 2 games put together.
Literally.
Right.
Al Martin, what do you have for us with our team of the week?
You know, I'm not a big soccer guy. I'm not a big football guy, as they say, right? But I do want to give a shout out to Lansing Ignite. Yes. I did see that they had an introduction press conference. Jeremy Sampson, who really was the brainchild in bringing minor league soccer to this area with Lansing United. Now he's with Ignite, and they had this really elaborate show that they did on the field, Jack, where they lit some firecrackers and showed how the fan section would be. Awesome stuff. I had no idea how many fans were in this area that love soccer, and I think this could be a success downtown Lansing at Cooley Law School Stadium.
Possible work for Graham Couch down the road, right? As much as he loves soccer.
He loves soccer, right? Yeah.
Could find something there. Also, I think we already mentioned the Michigan State hockey program and those 2 wins at Cornell. That's unbelievable. For our player of the week, I think anybody's already got his own walk-up music. He's played 1 game, right? How about Rocky Lombardi? People who had no idea who this guy was around the country are saying, is that the coolest name ever for a football player?
Rocky.
Yeah, well, Mark D'Antonio thought it was pretty cool yesterday, too. And now, you know, you're going to find people, and they're all going to want to grow their hair out and bleach it blonde, and, you know, they're going to have that whole look going. But we'll see what happens. He goes to College Park, Maryland, and then you got Ohio State coming in. We don't know what's going to happen with Brian Lewerke coming back. Want to thank all of Team 266. Darian Harris, catch him on BTN Live every Friday. Al Martin, Current Sports, WKAR, and Doug Warren, Lions Today, does a great job for Tom Crawford and I from 3 to 6 every afternoon. We'll be back with you next week, I promise, at our regular time. Have a great week, everyone.
Thank you.